And now, Lee Bridges, Doug Wall, and Garrick Lane, Tales from the Video Store, brought to you by Golden Ticket Cinema.
Joker got an 8-minute standing ovation. Joaquin Phoenix, apparently from the review I read, The Hollywood Reporter, Joaquin Phoenix his performance is like the reason it's so good.
Was that at the Venice Film Festival?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, very cool. I'm excited for it. I really am. Because apparently they're going to be two things. Like the upcoming The Birds of Prey movie, the one that has the all-female superhero movie with Margot Robbie. That's going to be the DC movies. Then there's, with the logos all black, it's going to be the Black Label movies. Those are going to be the non-continuity ones.
Right.
Where they can just do whatever they want, like the Joker one. So there'll be actually two different DC universes, movie universes.
So they'll be like the Marvel universe where they're following the storyline, and then there'll be the random ones.
Yeah.
Well,
where you can do R-rated, you can do whatever.
Right.
Which I think is a good plan.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh yeah, I mean anything's. I'm gonna be honest with DC. Anything's better. I mean, Aquaman was a nice change, but
I liked the first Superman movie was fine.
I did too, but then there was
it.
Justice League was atrocious.
Fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And Batman
I don't
was
remember
Superman.
it.
Yeah, I don't.
Like
know.
if you asked me what happened in the Justice League movie, I couldn't tell you.
The only thing I remember is at the beginning, Superman talking, and you could tell that they had done something to his face, and I was like, that looks weird immediately.
That just shows you how petty rich people are, because apparently they offered Paramount huge amounts of money just to delay for a few weeks for Mission Impossible. They're like, never.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah.
So yeah, I'm hyped to see it.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah. It's got De Niro in it, produced by Scorsese. I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be something interesting.
Maybe. We'll see. I mean, I'm a Joaquin fan.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you know I am too.
I was reading an interview with Joe Dante, and he said right after Gremlins, that's what Warner Brothers offered him. And he said the more he wrote it, the more Joker he added into it, where it was like 80% Joker and like 20% Batman. He realized, I don't want to make this movie. He's like, I want to make. He's like, then later on he said, yeah, that's the movie he actually wanted to make in the 80s. It's just a Joker movie.
He has some sort of laughing Tourette's or something, and like
he can't stop laughing or giggling or dancing or like he's throughout the movie he's doing something like.
And I couldn't see any. Like you think about it, I was reading the article about it, and I was like. I couldn't imagine anybody else doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm sure other people can do it.
Sure.
But I know enough of his work to know that he'll be able to nail it.
Yeah. I'm excited. So we're back on week number 2 of our little fancy David Lynch, Nicholas Winding Refn weeks. Yeah, how about that? I got it.
Well done.
I think it's because I've been watching him all week. So
there you go.
I've been watching interviews. I'm like, well, we'll get to that. But
right.
Anyway, did we watch some movies this week?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, what'd you watch?
All right. Well, I started off with the movie from 1989. I have not seen probably since 1989.
Okay.
A movie called Relentless, where Judd Nelson plays a serial killer.
Mm.
Yeah. And I just happened to see it was on Prime, and I haven't seen it in almost 30 years probably. And he's a guy like his dad was a famous cop, and he always wanted. But he kept failing the psychological exam. And basically what it is, it's a serial killer movie, but he's trying to basically commit suicide by cop throughout the entire movie. Mm-hmm. And he's leaving clues for them, and they just don't get it. Like the cops, they're like, we'll go round up a bunch of people who've, like peeping toms and stuff. And so he starts writing down like clues up, like he'll circle someone's name in the notebook, in the phone book, and then write something on it and leave it like in the on the victim's chest. And he always makes them, like he'll put the knife in their hand and take their hand and like stab them with it. Like, so he makes them kill themselves.
Right.
And he just gets more and more insane the longer it takes them to catch him.
I don't remember anything.
And he's super creepy. Like, Judd Nelson is super creepy. It's a pretty good movie, but he's great in it.
Good.
And
Is he still alive?
I think so. As far as I know, he is.
Judd Nelson?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
What was the last thing he did?
Who knows?
Wasn't it Boston Law or no? It was the Ally McBeal. Was it Ally McBeal?
Was he? I have no idea.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Last thing I saw him on was the Oscars the year John Hughes died. They had the big tribute.
Oh,
for him.
that's right.
And I saw him on there, and he looked pretty rough then. Yeah. He looked like he was in the alley out back, and they just hosed him off. But other than that, I watched one of the Hulu original Into the Dark horror movies. It's called Culture Shock. And it was okay. It was kind of a Step for Wives type thing. You know, it's produced by Blumhouse. And, they're all like an hour and 20 minutes. But,
I so hate Lee.
Why is that?
Because ever since, like a month ago, I put my Hulu account on hold. Because I'm like, And ever since I put that thing on hold.
Everything he
comes in here and talks about is freaking Hulu.
Yeah.
Everything. The documentary, everything.
Yeah.
Hulu should be paying them because I'm going to end up unfreezing my account. I tell you what, and I hate to get off subject, but
right.
I really like the way it was looking. I went on Netflix last night, and I think I'm about there. I think I'm about to the point where I'm ready to get rid of Netflix.
Once I just got to the end of Mindhunter, I'm fucking sure I'm
when I'm a few episodes
from
finishing.
What happens when Mindhunter comes back on?
I don't care if it's like this season.
Oh, really?
I did not like...
I've loved it so far.
Well, I did too, the first 3 episodes. The last 6, especially the last 2, not so much. It's just pointless.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And I love the show. You know,
Right.
I loved it last season. I loved the first probably 4 episodes of this year, but I just don't understand what it's supposed to be.
Right. We'll go, when I finish it, we'll talk more about it.
Yeah, okay.
But,
I'm sorry, I threw a softball.
Oh, no, it's fine.
It's fine.
The only thing I watched besides that was the movie we are watching this week is from Denmark. And I watched a movie actually from the Netherlands, a couple countries away.
Okay.
A slasher movie called Amsterdamned. Which, actually
you posted that up.
There's a series, the whole city's just canals. It's basically small neighborhoods connected by canal, and it's a scuba diving serial killer movie. Slasher movie. And it's okay, but it's extremely mean-spirited. Like the first woman who kills this prostitute, he slits her throat and hangs her over one of the canal bridges. And if you go to Amsterdam, they have tons of these like glass, like sort of like, it's almost like greenhouse top boats, like they're glass top boats you can see the city. The boat comes up, sees her, isn't able to stop, and it hits her, and it drags her along their dead body along the top of the glass top boat. And it's just like, damn, it was just such a mean scene. And I was like, and that's what I say with the show. It's a very mean-spirited movie.
Okay.
But
what's it on?
Prom.
Prom.
Yeah.
Oh, yay.
And but it's has a lot of cool stunts in it. Kind of almost like an action horror movie.
What'd you do? Did you search Danish action?
No, I think so. I think it just popped up in the horror movies you might watch. Amsterdamned. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
And
it does.
But the dialogue is very weird because I think there's a few dubbed actors, but most of their Dutch actors speaking in English, and the way they say sort of English phrases doesn't go over wait till the cows go home, or they'll say something just like they're trying to sound American.
The translation.
They're not. Yeah. But it was other than that, and that's it. That's all I watched for those things.
Okay, I watched a bunch of stuff, like I always do. I had a long weekend, so I had some time. I watched some newer movies. I watched Godzilla King of the Monsters with my boy.
The human stuff is pointless.
Really makes no sense.
Yeah.
And the actors are really kind of so-so and pointless.
There should be an option. There should be a monster option.
All I wanted to see was the fighting, and when they do that, it's great.
It's an interactive Blu-ray.
Yeah, really.
Where you can mute all the, you can
Yeah.
take all the scenes with the humans out.
Like the 7 background characters who are around Kyle Chandler and Ken Watanabe, most of those could have been condensed into Kyle Chandler and Ken Watanabe.
Right.
Really, they're the only 2 characters you need. The rest of them are just there to, like...
I just,
like they're just in the background saying stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But the monster fighting is awesome.
The monster fighting is awesome. There wasn't really enough of it.
There was way more than there was in the 2014 one. Godzilla's in for like 10 minutes.
That's right. And it's a badass 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But this, it's like they felt like compelled to put all these actors and their interactions in when it really just had... It just kind of ruined the story, really, more than anything else. It didn't help it along, so... it was okay for an 11-year-old. Oliver was like, "Oh, this is badass." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, whatever."
There's a lot of cool stuff in it, but there's a very flawed movie.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Then we watched a movie from, I believe it was 1987, called The Gate.
Nice, love it.
Which I found on Prime, I believe, and I had not seen it in. God, it's been some time.
Yeah,
and we watched that. It's a little scarier than I remember with all the satanic kind of tones, but cool movie.
Yeah.
He really loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, when I was 12 years old, this was my jam. Like, I probably saw this thing 20 times from like 87 to 9.
The workman coming out of the wall scene is amazing.
Yeah.
When he falls and turns into the little demons.
Yeah.
Like
there's a lot of practical. There is a little bit of CGI in it, but most of the effects are practical, and I really enjoyed that, and I think he did too.
Oh yeah,
because a lot of times we'll watch stuff, and if it's like way over the top, kind of old CGI, he's just sitting there laughing at it.
Right.
But this, I'm like, look, man, that's like claymation. Like these are puppets, and I think he kind of appreciated it.
Yeah, man, Stephen Dorff is an ugly kid.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Yeah, like
he's and the odd thing about it, he's probably the worst part of the movie.
Yeah.
His buddy was better than he was.
Right, yeah. But here's a line from the movie that'll never be in a movie now. Let's go get Dad's gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get no, it's essentially a children's movie.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, at the end of the movie, they just, let's go get Dad's gun.
Why didn't you get it before?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But cool movie.
Yeah, cool movie. Then I waited till he went to bed and watched Rambo from 2016. We've kind of been talking about it and talking about the trailer for the new one coming out. So I wanted to rewatch it. It's okay. It's not great. The story's not great.
Yeah.
But the violence is fan-fucking-tastic. The last 30 minutes is just...
It's over, yeah.
It's just over the top,
I knew when the pigs ate the guy's legs.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we're doing it. Like, the guy who wrote the novel, first of all, he said that's as close to the characters in the novel.
Right.
He's like, yeah.
And did the novel come first?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the novel was written like 76, 77, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was like right after the Vietnam War.
Wait, what are we talking about? We're talking about Rambo?
From 2006.
Rambo 4.
So he wrote a bunch of books? Those movies were based on the books?
He wrote a book.
Did I miss something?
And then he wrote the... Because in the Rambo novel, First Blood, Rambo dies. But then he wrote novelizations of all the movies, which are sort of like...
Oh, okay.
Takes things...
Yes, right.
They're semi-sequels to the book.
Yes, okay.
And, at the end of the novel, Colonel Troutman blows Rambo's head off.
At the end of the... Yes.
Yeah.
But then the novelizations of the book
yes.
will come out as marketing.
Right, but they are written by the guy who wrote the original
Okay, understood. That's where I got
right.
lost. Because I was like, I didn't realize that was a book that was being... Okay.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
And,
Sorry.
but yeah, it's a cool movie.
Yeah,
it's brutal as hell.
I loved it.
Yeah.
The last 30 minutes, it's just shit goes down.
Yeah.
I couldn't have been happier. And I'd forgotten, I guess, the very, very end of it. Mm-hmm. When he comes back home.
He's walking across that fucking bridge.
And he comes to the farm.
Yeah.
Where the new one that's getting ready to come out takes place. And
right.
I'm like, okay, well, I guess they did really kind of interconnect it,
yeah.
which I thought was cool. And then finally, dude, I've been trying for 3 months, and I don't know why I've gotten such fucking resistance out of him for this, but I've been trying to sit down and get the boy to watch The Terminator with me. Mm-hmm. And first, I'm like, dude, you love time travel, like, you love all this stuff, like, trust me, man, I'm not going to steer you wrong, you're going to love it. And he's fought me on it.
Yeah.
And last night, I was like, dude, we're sitting here, there's nothing, it's 8 o'clock, what are we doing? And he's like, fine, put it on. And he fucking loved it.
Did he like the Linda Hamilton, Michael Bain sex scene? Or did you fast forward through that?
Well, I forgot that there was a boob scene.
There's 2 of them. There's one at the beginning where the roommate gets it.
He was pleased with it. Let's just say, we'll just say that. I didn't fast forward it. I didn't ruin it for him.
Yeah, that's the only reason I haven't showed River.
And that was the first thing that he said when we finished the movie. I said, well, "What did you think?" He was like, "Man, I really liked Arnold, and there's boobs in it." And I was like, all right.
That is possibly the most truthful review I've ever heard.
Yeah, of that movie.
It was Arnold Schwarzenegger and Boobs.
He was like, man, I really loved Arnold. He was like, man, he was so into it. And I was like,
sex scene too, man.
Damn Cameron used to be such the fucking man.
Yeah. I don't know what. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that watching. I was like, man, what are you doing, Cameron?
At the bottom of the ocean, making a documentary.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing whatever he wants to do.
Pretty much. The only other movie I watched is in direct correlation with the movie that we're doing a review on tonight, which is Pusher. It's a 2012. It's a remake done by a guy named Luis Prieto.
Copycat.
Basically. It's the same basic premise of the original, but it's really just an average ripoff. You know, it takes place in London instead of Copenhagen. They try and be witty with the dialogue like Pusher, but it's not
right.
You know, but I'll say this about it: if you don't have a way to watch the original, and this is the only thing that you've got, the only way that you can experience the story,
it's the only DVD you have,
then watch it.
Yeah,
you know, or if you don't want to watch subtitles, then watch it.
Right.
You know, it's just a newer, shinier version that's not done particularly all that great.
Yeah. The guy who plays the Frank character. Yeah, I saw him on the poster for that.
Richard Coyle.
And he does not. I was like, damn, what's that dude? 5'3"? Come on now.
Yeah.
I was like,
he's not terrible.
I'm sure he's not, but I just it's like, you know. Well, I saw it. And I was just like, my brain just went, I'm never gonna watch that.
Yeah. The only reason I watched it is because I didn't have this.
Right.
And I was like, let's revisit and just see.
Yeah.
And it's pretty damn close to the original. They steal a lot of the same lines. A lot of them they don't. Yeah, you know, it's like a poor man's kind of like Lock, Stock.
Yeah.
You know, maybe. You know, just, it's just a big C. And that's what I watched. Right.
Well, everybody knows, anybody that's on our Facebook page knows what I watched, or what I finished.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I trolled all our group. Everybody that commented. One of our listeners, Gerald Allison, he always puts DVD covers of what he's watching on. And people, you know, post videos and all sorts of things, and I just commented on every one of them with the poster of Too Old to Die Young. I was trolling everybody because I felt like everybody must see this,
and it wasn't annoying at all.
Not even a little bit, huh?
You had to admit it was funny. I mean, it's it's funny because I finally had a little time and I was going through and, you know, liking and commenting and doing those things, and was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And I downloaded the poster and just started sending it to every comment.
Okay, so you think everybody should watch it?
Okay, so I finished it, yes, and then I watched it again.
You've watched it twice.
I have watched the whole thing twice.
That's 26 hours.
That is
no
26 hours. That's correct. Okay. And I even watched the second episode a third time to make sure that I got it.
Because of how good that second episode is?
Because of how good it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a little technical because it goes a lot deeper than this. Because I'm sure, I'm going to be honest, I know Lee's going to watch it. If he ever watches it, he's going to hate it. He's going to hate it.
Some of it he will. But some of it he'll love if he gets to it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
But what's crazy about this movie, and the second time I was watching is where I really figured out, like, the location management. The guy, Scott Trimble, he does the Avengers, and he did Bad Times at El Royale. I don't know where he found some of those buildings, some of that stuff. Like, every frame, man, it's perfectly done. It's technically flawless. There's a scene. I'm still trying to put my head around it. It's so untraditional. There's a scene in the second episode that lasts 9 minutes. It lasts 9 minutes. And it's the cop, the federale, Cortez, comes out of the bathroom and he walks to his desk and sits down, and he has a conversation with Miguel, the cartel's son, who's going to take over, and there's bad blood. And they sit on Cortez at his desk, and Miguel, you just see Miguel's hip right here in frame, and it sits. And it does not, there's no coverage. There's no close-ups.
Right.
This goes on, and it's subtitled. So you're sitting there watching just Cortez's face during this exchange. And then about midway through, it pans real slow to the other guy. They say 3 things to him, and then it pans back. And this scene goes on for 8 minutes, and it's one shot. And it's brilliant. I'm like, I don't even know how.
This is what I was afraid of.
I
should have never. I should have never turned him on to this show.
Yeah.
What I don't understand, I even sent him a tweet last night. Did he, number one, did he shoot coverage? Or 2, I can't imagine doing that scene to those actors. It must have been exhausting to do that scene over and over and over again, because everything has to be timed perfect. So I wonder if he does a lot of rehearsal or what, because it's very hard to keep my attention for 8 minutes on one shot, and he did it. The whole movie, I timed out the episode 2 last night. It's an hour and a half. And these scenes are 10 minutes long. So there's really only probably 8 scenes in the whole thing, and it's brilliant.
They're perfect.
It's the violence is awesome when it happens. The color is ridiculous, and then to find out, Refn is colorblind. He shoots all that the way he shoots it so he can see it. Isn't that amazing? And check this out. He shoots it in chronological order. So that not only does that mean that he's bringing those guys back in, like your budget's probably twice as much.
Right.
You're shooting it. He shot that thing for 10 months, and he shot it in chronological order. And he shoots every one of his movies in chronological order. And I'm wondering, they're so unique. It's so different than anything else, and somebody's allowing him to do it.
Right.
And everybody, a lot of people talked about this show and they hate it. Hate it.
Yeah.
Swear that it's the worst thing that they've ever seen. I read so many reviews where they're like it's just
boring.
It's Refn jerking off in a room to his own
much.
hubris. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, it was a masterpiece. It is this close to being better than True Detective Season 1. This close. That's how much I loved it.
It's weird to say because Christopher Nolan is colorblind. He goes the opposite way. Everything's just
right.
They could be different because there's 2 different types of colorblind. So that could be it. But Christopher Nolan is like, I'm just going to show it like how I see it. Gray. Everything's right. And Refn's like, fuck that noise.
Yeah.
Well, Darius Kanji was one of the director of photographies. We all know Darius Kanji. Diego Garcia, the editor. It's funny because I'm like, Matthew Newman had the easiest job ever. He took the best take of the wide shot and he put it on the timeline.
Right.
His editing is great, but he had the easiest job of everybody. Here's the 8 minute take number 3 that we're going to use. Just leave it on Miles Teller, and you're good.
Yeah.
The set direction was insane, and I know I'm getting technical on this, but that's just after watching the second time, I was trying to figure out why I liked it so much, and it's because everything about it was good. It wasn't just where we'll probably go see Joker and we'll say, the movie was great, but Joaquin was awesome. This was like everything was perfect. I mean, it was freaking perfect. Even the S&M, man, the S&M was like, I was physically uncomfortable. There's a scene where, the scene where she.
I know the scene.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and break it out. There's this long scene where they push in. The scene lasts 5 minutes of the priestess of death giving Angel a hand job, and it's so incredibly real.
Angel, you mean Jesus?
Jesus, excuse me. It's so incredibly real that I was physically uncomfortable watching it. And then to end it, he finishes in her hand, and she shoves it into his mouth. And it is this.
You gotta love Refn, the guy who
That's
just
what
he
I'm
don't give a
saying.
shit.
One. That's what I say. Like he would physically. Cliff Martinez's music would mesmerize you for 8 minutes, and then at the end of the scene, you jump out of your seat.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know what it is, man, but I loved it. It just rejuvenated everything that is film for me, man.
Good.
And I'm glad, thank you.
I'm glad.
I'm glad you pushed me to watch
I
that.
thought you would like it, man. After I watched about 2 episodes, I was like, fuck, Garrick's going to love this shit.
I remember an interview with De Palma one time. I think they were talking about Dress to Kill. And he was like, what do you say about the... He's like, I'm not going to say anything. He's like, because if I try to defend the movie, to your brain, that's me defending violence against women, which is not what the movie's about.
Right.
He's like, so I'm not going to say fucking anything, because you're just going to take what you want from it.
Right.
He's like, so fuck you.
Have you had a chance to watch any of it?
I watched a little bit of the first episode.
Okay.
Hadn't had a chance to finish it.
Okay.
Well, we shall see if you ever get around to the 13 hours.
We shall see. 13 hours.
I promise you'll never watch it twice.
That's a lot of Miles Teller.
Well, it's not really, because because of how it's cut.
It's so incredible.
Right.
It's done so incredibly well. Like,
what did you think? Because some of my favorite scenes were when Miles Teller's character is at the police station and his interactions with those cops and the chief. Like, those were some of my favorite scenes.
Oh yeah. No, I think
when he's doing the Jesus thing, like,
oh yeah,
dude, I mean, that was just.
You know who that was, don't you?
Yes,
it's Ellis from Die Hard. That's awesome, Ellis from Die Hard.
It's Ellis.
Nice.
He came back, and he's really good.
He's hilarious. He's the only funny character. I think there's no comedy at all in this movie. None.
But this police chief is just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There was golly, I had something else. One other thing.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, anyway, whatever it was. It just is flawless, and And
I love the music.
Oh, Cliff Martinez's
I thought the soundtrack to it was just perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Like, all the, 50s reggae music when they're dealing with the Jamaicans and all, man, was just badass, dude. I loved all that.
It just, I loved all the irony. Like, I loved, there was a scene, in the first one where the chief is talking about Larry, and Larry was full of integrity and blah blah blah, and then hey, we're fast tracking you, and it's just so there's everybody's so clueless to how people really are,
right.
It's just I don't know, man, it was so good. Like, I may watch it again if I may play it in the background. Like, it was just so good.
Favorite thing you've seen since?
True Detective season 1.
So it's your new Phantom Thread.
It's that close. Like,
it's better than Phantom Thread.
Well, it's different.
Is it?
It's different.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 13 hours. And also, real fast, and I don't want to get into it. But I watched the Dave Chappelle stand-up.
God, that was good.
Dude, thank you, Mr. Chappelle.
The newest one.
Yep, the newest one.
It's so hateful.
He's causing so much stuff. Everybody's so
hateful.
But, dude, good for you, man. Don't change a thing. Like, it's
the bit about Michael Jackson.
Oh, dude.
Even if he did, I mean, fuck it, he made Thriller. Even if he did, right? He's like, and when he's talking about it, he's talking about the opioid crisis. He goes, I understand how rich people felt in the 80s with the crack epidemic. He's like, because I look at him, I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he's like, hey, why don't you just say that? Everything about it was
it was
so good. And he came out, the best part, man, he came out and he addressed the crowd.
Yeah.
And he said, hey, who's this sound? I'm going to do an impression. Who's this sound like? And he does this like, 12 years ago you touched a girl and that's going to be a whole big problem, blah, blah, blah. We're going to come back 12 years later and screw your life up. He's like, who's that sound like? The crowd just doesn't say anything, and he's like, you motherfuckers. It sounds like you. And then he got on women, man, and he's like, you guys are, this is like, shut up. He's like, so let me get this straight. If LeBron James would turn into a woman, would he go to the WNBA and make 840 points a season? He broke it out, dude.
Yeah.
He basically, all these people that are butthurt about what's going on.
Yeah.
He just basically burned the house down. I mean, he really did.
Yeah.
Good for him, man. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, and it's
his first two Netflix ones were very like I'm coming back. He was very.
There was one, the one in L.A. and then the one in Austin.
Texas,
the one in Austin was fucking funny.
The one in Austin was 2 days after he got that banana peel thrown at him.
Yeah.
At Austin City Limits.
Yeah.
But this one is mean as hell in a good way. Like, you know,
he pulls on all the stops.
Yeah.
Like he talked about Louis K. Getting in trouble. He's like, God masturbated. He's like, he said, have you ever seen a man who who came on his belly? He is the most unthreatening person ever.
Just face full of shame, stomach full of pancake batter, just running out. Oh God!
So anyway, it's entertaining. He's the best comedian out, but I just kudos to him for not giving a fuck and saying exactly how he feels, and it being okay. You know, for me, it's being okay. Yeah. Of course, there's all sorts of people that are like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
I've got to get to a panic room.
Yeah.
Say it. Yeah. Anyway, all right, moving on then.
Moving on.
The movie this week.
The movie this week
was shot by some dude. I can't pronounce his name.
Some Danish hobo who cares. It is. I guess I'll introduce it. It is from 1996. Pusher, Nicholas Winding Refn's first feature-length film, and it is a very simple movie, like plot-wise, kind of like Blue Velvet. Like if you describe it in like a sentence, it seems
very simple.
Very simple. But once you watch it, you realize it basically is the week in the life of a drug dealer in Copenhagen who tries to move up, on the drug ladder, tries to do a big drug deal. It goes terribly wrong. He ends up owing some terrible people a lot of money. It's basically just like 3 days of him trying to find the money.
Yeah.
It's doing anything.
It's a week in the life of a fucking...
Yeah. The first 2 days are kind of shows like he's having a great time.
Oh, yeah.
But those last 3...
Him and Tony they're living it up.
Yep. And it's a really excellently well-made, extremely depressing movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... There's no, like, moral ending. There's no... Yeah. It is... Yeah. Like the end of Goodfellas, it's a punch in the mouth.
There's only one... There's one endearing scene with him and his girlfriend before that I thought was kind of cute when he's dancing around, and he's trying to make light of things, but... Yeah, it is ultimately...
His girlfriend that he hates.
Right.
Yeah.
That he won't sleep with
and
because
also,
she's a prostitute.
And he doesn't say she's not his girlfriend, according to him.
Right.
So, I mean, it's... Yeah. But basically, he just ends up owing a lot of money to the absolute worst guy in the universe.
Yeah. I mean, it's cautionary tale.
Right? Yeah. That's true.
Don't get mixed in.
Yep. And this movie, it's there's not much lighting. Well, I mean, if you watch this and watch Neon Demon or God,
you can never watch this and compare it to anything that he's made.
That's where I'm going with this. It's like this is him before he got. It's almost like he's honed his craft, but this is so good. There's no lighting. There's no sets. It's completely the opposite of Too Old to Die Young.
Yeah, but I would argue though that it's fine, but the movie itself, the dialogue and what the movie's about is what makes this movie more than him.
I love
like Drive. To me, he makes that movie.
Yeah,
and Too Old to Die Young. He makes that story to me.
Yeah.
The story is good, but the way he tells it and the way he presents it is what makes it.
Yeah.
This is the opposite to me. It's more about the actors and the story and the dialogue is why I like this movie, not necessarily what he does.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Okay. It sounds like, whereas normally he technically, everything is methodically done. This time it feels like he just put a camera on his shoulder
and just ran with
said,
it.
"You guys go."
Yeah,
and it's perfect.
And it has the movie's perfect. It has that energy of a first-time director.
Sure.
Yes.
Like first time, watch this. You mentioned Lock, Stock earlier. You go back to Reservoir Dogs. First-time movie director, they have like an energy that you can't replicate.
Right.
Because I guess by that time you get to a second and third movie, you want to do things differently. You don't want to have to, compromise and make two characters into one, and shooting a location you don't like, but sometimes that makes it better.
Yeah.
Having to having less resources.
See, and that's a big difference between NWR and David Lynch to me.
Right.
David Lynch, like all of his movies, even his earliest work at Eraserhead, they all have like this Lynchy feel. Mm-hmm. This does not. If I didn't tell you who directed this and gave you 100 guesses, you would never guess. That Refn did this movie.
If you've watched his latest stuff, you would never think.
Like he's had a massive evolution as a filmmaker. Whereas David Lynch, it's like he kind of found his.
He can't change. There can no.
Yeah, it's like he has his way, and that's his way.
It's like Tim Burton.
Like,
the same way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I always know it's Tim Burton.
Like in the mid 2000s, Refn pitched a Wonder Woman movie to Warner Brothers. He wanted Christina Hendricks, who had just been in Drive, to be Wonder Woman, and he was like, "I can do it. He can." But I guess they were like, "Yeah, that sounds super weird. We don't want to do that."
It's kind of like Rob Zombie trying to do the Groucho Marx.
Yeah, they were just like, "Yeah, man, no, thank you." But David Lynch wouldn't even think of doing that.
Right.
I think Refn's open to different types of movies and different types of storytelling. That like Refn, like how we talked about Lynch. How Lynch says he's constricted by Hollywood.
Yeah.
No, you're not. Dude.
Not in anything I've ever seen.
Literally, everyone has spent 40 years kissing your ass and giving you whatever you want. But I guess he views it as any compromise is unacceptable.
Right.
Whereas I think Refn is more just the guy's like, well, if that actor dropped out, I'll get another guy.
Yeah.
Which is as weird and artistic as stuff. I think he's more of a. Just say if this came out like people hated it, Too Old to Die Young. He doesn't care. He'll just make something else.
Yeah, we were talking about, or you were talking about last week. Like he's like, watch it in any fucking order you want.
Yeah.
Watch 5 episodes and quit.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah, like I don't like Only God Forgives. Like aesthetically, it looks great, but I'll never probably watch it again.
Yeah.
From beginning to end.
Same.
But I'm not.
Because it didn't end up being what it was advertised as.
Right, exactly.
And that's why I didn't like it.
Exactly. But maybe that didn't work out. He'll just try something else.
Too young to die old.
Yeah.
Or too old to die young, sorry.
Yeah.
I read that it is extremely violent.
Yeah.
There's slow scenes. It's beautiful, blah, blah, blah. And it delivered on every single thing that I heard.
Right.
It's just some of the things that other people found to be negative, I found to be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not on Garrick's level with it.
Right.
I probably never will be.
Yeah.
But I do like it.
Well, I'd say that, but real fast to get back to that. I think this is the layers. I watched Pusher twice, and the difference is, and maybe I'm wrong, but there's so much going on in his movies that a second viewing you see, like, for Too Old to Die Young, there's scenes that with these panning scenes. Mm-hmm. If you look really close, there's stuff going on. There's a scene in a strip bar in Mexico, and they're panning through all these people, and this guy is like gagging this girl, and you don't really see it your first time. Like there's just all these little things going on, nuances and crazy stuff going on in his movies.
Yeah, he like creates an entire world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you almost have to watch it again.
I find a lot of times the second viewing of a movie is the best because you're
for sure.
You're not worried about the plot.
So then you should watch all his movies again.
Yeah, like you're not worried about the plot the second time,
right?
And but you're more worried about just like you notice little things you didn't notice before, and it just you'll like the movie better the second time. I think one of the most positive things I can say about this movie, about Pusher. It's so good, I ignore how much I hate the amount of handheld camera in it. Yeah. Like the amount of I was like, it's just like you see movies that much handheld. I'm just like, fuck you. Get
that
a tripod.
Dialogue is amazing.
Oh yeah, it is.
The dialogue is.
When he's talking about the sperm on it.
Yeah,
it's so much different.
Did you sperm on her?
You sperm on her.
And then I pissed on her face to wash it off. Like, of course I did.
Yeah.
All of that is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I know that he co-wrote this with somebody else, I believe.
Yeah.
But that was one thing. I had seen this movie the last time in probably 2001. But that was one thing that I picked up. When I watched it back then, it was like, oh man, it's all about the drug dealings and the running around and the look. Yeah. And I guess I didn't really concentrate as much on the dialogue because I didn't remember.
Yeah.
As how witty and cool some of those lines were and some of the conversations were. So I really enjoyed watching it again.
Yeah, it's a cool movie.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
It's a good gangster movie.
And I wish the main actor, Kim Bowden, I wish he was in more stuff.
I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, I really don't. Because Mads is in it for the first act, really.
He was in this, and then he's in
Bleeder,
which was Refn's second film, and then I don't know of anything else that he was in.
I don't know if they had a falling out or what, because there's a documentary on the making of 2 and 3 where Refn was just broke. And Mads is so big in Denmark. Like, he's just like, he's famous in the world, but there he's Harrison Ford there.
Yeah.
And they get into an argument with something like he used actual drug dealers in parts 2 and 3, like some of the supporting characters, guys who'd been to prison. And they get in an argument. Man's like, "Hey, everybody, calm down." They just go, "Oh, okay." Like everybody just sits down, like he's like 6'7", 300-pound felon. Instead, just go, "Oh, Matt said to calm down." Okay, we'll just.
We was sit down. Shut up.
You don't want to burn that bridge.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's an interesting trilogy because Mads is in the first one a little bit, but he's the main character of the second one.
And he's in the third one.
So and I never got around to 2. Explain to me, and this is a spoiler alert, but he gets his brains knocked out in the first one.
He gets the shit kicked out of him, and then he ends up
in prison.
Oh, so he doesn't die?
No, he doesn't die. He is the main character of part 2, and Milo, the villain of part 1, is the main character of part 3,
and 2, and the one from 2012.
And apparently he's in the English remake. I don't know if he's in the Bollywood remake, which has the trailers of.
Does this have the documentary on it?
Yes, I think it's on the second disc.
Can I possibly borrow it for one more
absolutely.
week? I'd like to see that.
Sure.
I missed that.
But yeah, they're very visceral movies.
And I've read, and I have not seen it, but I've read that part 2 of this Pusher Part 2 is the best of this trilogy. As far
I haven't rewatched 2 and 3 in a long time.
As far as Refn and as a director, I've heard that's the best one.
Well, right after it was made, Mads was cast as the bad guy in Casino Royale, so I'm sure it had some effect. Yeah. And that sort of kicked off him as a famous or world famous actor.
That guy.
I do too. Yeah,
he's awesome.
Like we talked about, he's like the coolest guy that nobody can find like a cool role.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
wasn't he in Polar? Was that Polar that he was in?
He was awesome.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, everything that wasn't in him, I hated.
Yeah,
like there's like if you could just cut the mad stuff out, that's a super cool movie. But the rest of it with like the garish colors, I was just like,
kind of like like Godzilla.
Right? Yes, exactly. He is the Godzilla scenes in Polar.
Have Mads interactive DVD where you just get his scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good. It's so funny because as a filmmaker, you always struggle with how to tell a story, but the final scene, the way they leave it is so incredibly simple and so
but you know what's going to happen.
It's perfect. They cut to that scene and they roll out the thing like he's doomed. It's doomed. And but the way they do it is so perfect.
Why even show it?
My ass, as soon as he leaves the police station, my ass is on a boat.
I agree.
I ain't never coming back. Yeah. I don't care if I got to like stow away in like a shipping freighter. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie, I would, if you're a Refn fan, a modern Refn fan, stuff he's made over the last 20 years, I don't know if I would necessarily recommend this movie. Because of how different it is from yes, I do too. This is more for people who like mid-90s gangster movies.
It has that 90s indie aesthetic.
Right.
Which,
so if you like King of New York, I think you would like Pusher.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it is, Copenhagen.
Yeah. Right, yeah. It does. Yeah, it does have like almost a Abel Ferrara feel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
It's much different from what he makes now.
Right, absolutely.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No,
it's just
not at all.
Like I say, or like we said, if you go into it thinking you're going to see
like Drive in Copenhagen, that's not it.
It's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not. But completely different than any David Lynch film.
That's true.
Yeah.
But the first two films, they are both about drug dealers.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I mean, it's.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
So rent it, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
100%.
And if you have Shudder, the entire trilogy is streaming. I just
Prime.
figured.
It just came on Prime.
Oh, did it?
Actually.
Okay.
Yep. No. Dude,
It's
I can watch it.
it's on your Shudder. That's why you can watch it. It's not on Prime.
Now, why would it be on Shudder?
But I guess AMC got the rights to it, and they had to put it
bloody
somewhere.
and cool.
Yeah. I've noticed that there's a lot of stuff on there that I guess AMC Networks gets the rights to, and they're just like, we don't have a place for this. We'll put that on Shudder.
There you go.
Yeah. Because, which, I mean, that's cool. There's a lot of different type of movies on there. Yeah. It's more of a, like you said, it's a violent movie channel that has a lot of horror. That has 80% horror. But, there's a lot of other stuff on there, too.
It's got all the nightmares.
Yeah. That's kind of their theme of the month.
Yeah. So, real fast, man, because I was going to try to get those in for some sort of expose for our, October coming in.
Right.
Is there a place you can go and find out when they're getting ripped off? Like, for instance, what's your deadline to watch all those nightmare movies before you take them off?
Yeah, I don't know.
A place that you can
go? I'm not sure. That's a good question. That I don't know. If there's a website that tells you when stuff's going to be taken off. I know, like, Netflix will put out, like,
it'll say available till
August 4th or whatever.
Oh, sweet. Netflix does that?
Yeah.
I think.
But they used to. I'm not sure if they still do. But I'm not sure. But I assume they'll be on there because, I mean, they're promoting it. I assume they'll be on there at least for a while. At least a couple months or so.
They probably won't put it on in October because you can make money off rentals. People are going to rent.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
You're going to pay for Nightmare during Halloween. They're not going to just give it to you.
Yeah.
Well, if you had 26 hours to fucking watch what you watched, then you've got plenty of time to watch all the Nightmare movies.
Exactly.
Right? All 10 of them.
I bet I won't make it through them.
Probably not.
I don't know why, Derp. I believe in you.
You got a movie this week?
I do. It's a movie from 2001 called The Last Minute. Have you ever seen it? It's a British movie. Stephen Norton, the guy who directed the first Blade, I'm sure he had tons of offers to do stuff, but he chose to make this movie called The Last Minute back in England after he made the first Blade, and it is super weird. It is not streaming anywhere. I have it on DVD. You can buy the DVD pretty cheap. But it's about a guy you don't even know what he does. You know he's a creative person at some point, and he's going to put something out. Well, then it comes out, and it just goes terribly. And he ends up getting addicted to heroin and becoming homeless. But really, it doesn't really explain what the movie's about. Because it goes off in these little, like, tangents. Like, Jason Isaac plays this crime boss, this London gangster called Percy Sledge, who at various points in the movie just bursts into song. And I don't mean he's just singing. I mean, it becomes a musical for 2 minutes. And then it's just, there's a scene in a club where it's a medical fetish club where people go to get surgeries they don't need.
Nice.
And you see things that you probably don't really want to see. I'm not really going to go into it, but it's and then when he becomes a heroin addict, it almost becomes like Oliver Twist. Like it's one of the weirdest. The fact that I think it pretty much just destroyed his career because I'm sure
But in his mind, when he
that's
read
what he wanted
he was
to
probably
do.
like, man, this is going to be great.
No, he wrote this. It's about He says it's about him, like he was he designed he worked on like Alien 3. He was a special effects artist. Right. He's like, well, I'm not happy. I need to become a movie director. Well, then he made a couple low budget movies. He said, I need to be a bigger movie director. I'm not happy. He's like, then I made Blade. He's like. Then after he made Blade, he's like, wait a minute, maybe I'm just fucking depressed. Yeah. And that's kind of what the movie's about. Is about him sort of realizing that maybe he's just a shitty person. That these achievements will never make him happy.
Right.
But like I said, super weird movie. The Last Minute. And it opens with a really good speech. Like if you live to 90, right, how many weeks do you have? Well, you got to cut off the first 4 years and the last 6. Because you don't really live those. So you're down to 80. Well, then you sleep half that time, so that's gone. I think it comes down like 2,000 weeks is what you got. And then he looks in the camera and says, what the fuck did you do this week? And then it cuts back to him when he's trying to be famous. After he's learned this sort of lesson that, it's more about just trying to make yourself happy.
Right.
But yeah, it's a very interesting movie.
Maybe it did make him happy.
Maybe it did, yeah.
And he was like, I'm good.
Yeah, that could be it.
I don't need to make movies anymore.
That could be it.
Interesting.
I think he's back working as a special effects artist again.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least he's still working.
Yeah.
So where are we on our little Refn lynch block, Garrick?
Well, I guess we will be doing Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart.
Next week.
Oh, yeah.
Bobby Peru.
that is my fear.
And those chompers.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
People worry about the boogeyman being under their bed. I worry about Bobby Peru being under my bed.
Yeah, for sure.
And that with the pantyhose pulled over his head.
God.
It's been so long since I saw that movie.
Yeah.
It's not like any Refn movie. It's another Lynch
It's,
classic.
yeah, but I don't think it's that much like, it's
It's a love story.
a love story, yeah. Lynch says it's his Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And he references it throughout.
Yeah, throughout.
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting week.
Yeah.
I'm hyped to see it again.
Oh, yeah.
Did you order it?
I did.
Did you?
I haven't seen it in God, man.
Yeah.
It's been too long since I had it on VHS.
Right.
Somebody threw all my VHS tapes out. I only had like 500.
It's
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Yep. The stuff that gets lost in the shuffle.
Well,
Well, you think it's like, oh no, I've got that, and then I go looking through my DVDs, and I'm like, oh wait a minute,
Yeah.
that was one of those.
Yeah.
Too
You
many.
own it?
No, I used to. I think I lent it out and it never got returned.
Fucking lent it out, and some bastard kept it.
Yep.
It's one that
Yeah.
If you
I
lent
had
it
the
out,
nice
they might keep
DVD
it.
that was like the case had like the heart cut out where you could see the poster and you could slide it out.
Oh,
It was a
wow.
nice edition.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Kind of like Alice in Chains Sap. You could just never keep a copy of that.
I have a copy of
Do
that.
you?
I don't know where it came from. Probably you. It's probably one of the 10 you
That
bought.
album, man, I
But I
must
still have
bought
that.
album like 6 times, man.
This whole thing has been a sting, Doug. You've now admitted
Yeah.
to stealing that album.
Where's the sap? Yeah, I've got it for sure.
Well, that's it for this week. We will see you next week when we do David Lynch's Wild at Heart.
Yep.
All right.
Please replace the speaker on its rack when you're ready to leave. Failure to do so will damage both the speaker and your car. We'll be grateful, and so will the patrons who follow you.